Welcome back to the Daily Taoist with Will S. As always, we're talking about the Tao Te Ching and how you can get back into spirit and alignment with the way. Today, I will be talking about verse 29 of 81. The Tao Te Ching was written around 2,500 years ago by a man named Lao-Tzu. It is one of the oldest texts in existence and certainly one of the wisest. Its wisdom is timeless and its message is as relevant and important now as it was back then, if not more so. It is vital that we learn to come back into balance with the natural world, to live in a more harmonious and selfless way, and the Tao Te Ching beautifully instructs us in bringing ourselves and our lives into alignment with the Tao. Verse 29. Do you think you could take over the universe and improve it? I do not believe it can be done. Everything under heaven is a sacred vessel and cannot be controlled. Trying to control leads to ruin. Trying to grasp, we lose. Allow your life to unfold naturally. Know that it too is a vessel of perfection. Just as you breathe in and breathe out, there is a time for being ahead and there is a time for being behind. A time for being in motion and a time for being at rest. A time for being vigorous and a time for being exhausted. A time for being safe and a time for being in danger. The master sees things as they are without trying to control them. She lets them go their own way and resides at the center of the circle. This is a wise and profound verse. We are often quite clear about what's right and wrong and how things should or shouldn't be. But were you given omnipotent power to change the world and make things better? Do you think you would succeed? Or would you simply make things a whole lot worse? Cause and effect is complex. Every effect has an innumerable chain of causes stretching all the way back to the beginning of the universe. The mind likes to chunk reality into separate events, components, and constituent parts. But everything is a link in a chain that has been forged since the beginning of time. Often when we try to control and improve things, we make things worse because we fail to see the bigger picture. Try not to control and try not to grasp. Be detached yet compassionate. Instead of moving against life, let life move through you and observe what happens and what actions you are compelled to take. We often try to force our lives into whatever configuration the mind dictates. We think that if it can mold and direct our circumstances, you can always be on top, always be ahead, always be in motion, and always be happy. This is an unreasonable expectation because life does not work like that. The pendulum swings both ways because that is its nature. We might breathe in and decide we want to retain that breath indefinitely because we consider oxygen to be positive and life-giving. But to do so would be to lose the rhythm and balance of life, and our refusal to let go and breathe out would actually kill us. It is important to honor the rhythms of life and let things be as they are without the excessive need to control. We often think we know better than life itself, that the workings of our mind are somehow superior to the workings of the universe. This, however, is the ultimate delusion, and when you think about it and consider the unthinkable vastness of the universe compared to the microscopic pinpricks that you and I are, it's quite laughable. Go with life by aligning with the Tao. It knows better than you or I. Compliments go to Rory at the Daily blogspot.com. This verse is particularly relevant right now, considering the state of the COVID situation, especially in British Columbia, as things ramp toward more tyranny and oppression and forced vaccinations, mask mandates, that sort of things. There's a tendency to feel like we don't have control of things. But as a wise mentor and friend of mine said to me, it really is about faith right now, and that the master sees things as they are without trying to control them and lets them go their own way and resides at the center of the circle. If you're a bad person and you're trying to do bad things and those bad things affect people on a global level, or a universal level, it's going to come back against you at some point. You can't do evil or be evil in this particular universe and expect to be rewarded for it long term. There might be some short term, perhaps monetary gains to be had, but pushing a unlawful and particularly dangerous vaccination onto people, considering the adverse effects, it's going to ultimately be proven that this entire thing was it's a ploy for more control of resources, money, your your attention. So right now, it's really important that the just people, the people who believe in life and freedom and liberty and all of those human attributes that we sometimes take for granted. It's important that we band together now and do not descend into unnecessary fighting, right? Whether you're vaxxed or not vaxxed, that doesn't matter to me. It should matter to anyone. What should matter is that, do you love one another? And do you have enough food, shelter, and security, right? So those are the things you can control. And it's really important right now that we remember what's important, and that's family, community, and faith. If you have those three things, you can literally accomplish anything in this particular life. And remember that life is a return trip back to source, and that you need to learn to die metaphorically, or put your ego aside while you are still alive, and become more in alignment with the Tao and the way of things. That's it for now, guys. It's 1:00 in the morning here. Wherever you are in the world, just remember that you're not alone. There are people out there on your side, in your back pocket, in your community. It may not always feel like you're on the right path, but ultimately, God has a plan for you, and you just have to show up and follow the script. As always, if you'd like to learn more about the Tao Te Ching or any other spirituality topic, please check out the www.thedailytaoist.com, The Daily Taoist on YouTube, Twitter, and _Daily Taoist on Instagram. I am trying to get my Facebook page changed, the name changed. Working on that. You can always reach out to me at any of those 3 handles. Much love, peace, and abundance. Pray for clarity and don't give in to tyranny, guys. I love each and every one of you on this planet. Have yourself a great and prosperous day. Namaste from Will S.